All right, we're going to head to the post-match media conference from Michael Voss. Imagine he'll be pretty happy with the effort of his side, but nonetheless, it is still another loss, and that, as we said before, 2 out of the last 11.
Well, Michael, it felt like you had the game on your terms for a large part of that first half. What do you feel broke down after the main break?
Oh, they turned up their intensity a bit. So I asked some questions, but geez, I was still pretty happy with their fight. There's a fair bit of determination in the group throughout the night. So I don't, moments, they sort of take contested mark, and maybe there's an inside 50 they don't quite hit, or there's a goal that we don't quite finish. But often one of those games, that's what they come down to. They come down to moments. But there was plenty of swings in that game. There was some swings that went in our favour, and there's some swings that went in Hawthorn's favour. And both teams were able to drag it back, but clearly they were able to, can't ignore that they were able to execute it for a little bit longer at the right times. And that was probably somewhat the difference in the end.
Speak about the fight. Do you feel like they took what happened last week personally?
I can't be sure. I haven't asked them how they felt ultimately at the end, other than getting on with the business of being able to play the way we want to play. And so the focus has largely been on how we want to play and how consistently we want to be able to apply that. So we found a better way forward. There's no doubt after tonight. I mean, that's a great oppo to play against. Very classy. And I felt like a lot of our, if you want to call it, system was standing up, and maybe some moments we didn't quite get right.
Can you just talk us through Harry Mackay today? When did you know that he wasn't going to be good to go?
No, well, fairly early in the morning, but we sort of hung on for as long as we could, and decision was made, obviously mid-afternoon to obviously withdraw him, so he just clearly wasn't getting any better. So pointless being able to pursue that, so we made the change.
Just a bug or something?
Yeah, just illness.
The decision to bring in Lewis Young, another tall, considering the weather conditions, did you contemplate bringing in someone a bit shorter?
Yeah, a couple, but I thought Lewis was okay. So did not disrupt us. Sauce went forward, competed hard forward of the ball. There was a few decisions to make. Do you go small or forward? Keep the back seven the same. Obviously, Sauce has been learning that role and been doing a great job for us. We sort of felt like that was the least moving parts. So keep everything, relatively stable and be able to do that. But yeah, he lost a couple of contests early, Lewis, but I thought he fought back really hard, and probably enabled us to be able to do something a little bit different with Weeders. So it helped our system get set up in the way we wanted it.
Tom De Koning was stuck off for 10 minutes of that last quarter. Did that break down, or how did you see that playing out?
Well, I'm not going to go into details how long he stands out. I'll just let you go and investigate how long he spends off the ground. So it might be only a minute or two difference, but not too much. I'll let you go do the work on that though.
Is it frustrating that one of your most influential players is stuck off though in a crucial time of the game?
No, sometimes it happens. It happens all the time. It's not an unusual thing. So clearly we don't like him on the ground, but there's some times when the play's on the other side of the field and you can't make that happen. So as a side, what you've got to pride yourself on being adaptable, and you understand that there are spanners that get thrown at you all the time. Move through it, get on with it, adapt. Players did, but yeah, clearly we'd obviously like him on at that particular time. But no, frustration isn't the word I'd use.
To the players in the public area, just as soon as they came off the ground, what was the immediate message to them coming on?
Oh, just a lot of parts of our game I felt like was, when we talk about. It's hard to say value process over scoreboard and not look at the process and what we want to value. And if you look at the way we defended hard. Tackle rate was up. We defended our 50 really well. Our forward centres were really strong. I think we had 29 of those. But we also know we've got a little bit of growth to go. So how do we become that just a little bit more efficient off those plays? So we've got plenty of looks. There's no question on the looks. So we've got some marginal growth we need to get after to be able to consistently apply it a bit more often.
How did you see that inefficiency going forward? I think it was about 8 goals from 54 entries. What do you sort of put that down to? Was it the lack of the Harry Mackay focal point, or something?
No, not really. Sometimes just taking your moments. Yeah, don't make it more complicated. So sometimes just taking your moments. 8-12. Just, sometimes take your moments.
How did you see Charlie's game?
Competed really well. Yeah, competed really well. So, where he's at. And in terms of his prep, obviously it's his first game coming back in. So our commentary is always around Charlie being able to compete forward of the ball. I think it's up to you to decide what you want to value in Charlie. If he kicks goals, it's, we've only got one focal point. If he doesn't kick goals, then how come he couldn't have an influence on the game? Yet he brought the ball to ground. I'll let you guys decide which way you want to go with that. But, for us, he's a valuable teammate. We love him in our team, and he gave us a focal point where he needed to, and he competed hard. And that's all I'm asking as a coach. He'll get his rewards within our system, and we'll get to have him in it over the course of the next few weeks to be able to build his game. But yeah, I'll let you decide which one you want to value. And clearly, obviously, we'd love to have both. But he came in and did his job and what he needed to do today for us.
It's not obviously the start you would have liked to the season and a difficult fortnight ahead. How do you remain calm with the group to make sure that they play up through the next 2 weeks?
Well, I find it's like a difficult 23 weeks, to be fair. So I don't walk in any game and sort of think that there's a winnable one in the foreseeable future. It's just that you put your head down and you keep going, and we've got to find ways to be able to try and get better. So that next fortnight. So that's what the challenge is ahead of us. So I don't see the point of looking past what our review looks like, and I don't see the part of looking past what next week looks like. So I don't. Again, I'll let you forecast the next part, but I'll just stay eyes in and look at what's right in front of us, and that's what we do.
Any concern on how you're running out games, just the two last quarters you've had so far?
No, not at all. Not at all. We had a few inside 50s late. No, we're running out games pretty well. You probably would have noticed last week I think we had 19 inside 50s in the last quarter. So I think we're running out okay.
You won the clearance count quite convincingly, but like you talked about efficiency.
Sorry, I can't quite hear you.
I was just saying you won the clearance count quite convincingly.
Yeah.
But like you touched on earlier, the efficiency was probably a bit lacking. Is that something you'll be looking to address?
Not so much from clearance. I think we sort of kicked 5-3. So I mean, again, I don't have stats in front of me, so sorry if I'm not being exact here. But it was quite good. It was mainly in the transition. I've been able to just make sure we're a little bit more, a little bit more finish in that part of the game. So look. Sometimes you can put the banner over the whole lot, but our job is to sort of look at the parts that will make the difference for us. And at the moment, that seems to be it. So we'll keep chasing that. Thank you. Cheers.